Hello everyone and welcome to my video walkthrough of my level design 1 Shantytown. This was created using the Unity development kit for Full Sail University's level design 1 class. So let's jump right in. Um, this is a title screen I decided to come with my level. I wanted to have a fade in, but I could not get the GUI texture to work correctly, so I ended up doing a top-down view of the Shantytown itself. So we'll go ahead and press enter here and go into our intro. For this animation, I really wanted something different. I wanted it to kind of fade in and out over every object, not showing the player exactly where the object was at. Unfortunately, like I said, the fade ins and the fade outs I couldn't get worked correctly, so I ended up doing this huge track just kind of around the level. And it moves pretty quickly, and it's something I kept trying to play with and slow down. Unfortunately, because I've seen this like 100 times, it's hard to kind of get a feel of what it would be for a first-time player. I did get some great feedback from my instructor after I submitted the animations, but unfortunately at this point, I was just too close to the deadline to kind of really change it and make it something great. But a lot of great feedback for my next class, hopefully. So here we are now. I can finally control this. Quick look around my shantytown. Lot of corroded steel and looks like abandoned buildings. Um, Barrels of fire kind of uses a light source. No electricity or anything like that. Um, I wanted to make it look very kind of uh, nomad, I guess, where there isn't a whole lot to it. It's very kind of run down. They do have fences and whatnot, which we can see over here. Very basic. I mean, it's wooden fence, but corrugated steel all across it. So when the player starts, hopefully what they see is this hang glider, which has some sparkles on it, and the gate. This should be getting the player's attention. If they go over to it, they can inspect it, and it'll tell them that it needs repaired, and they need to find 3 hang glider parts in order to repair it. Same thing with the gate. They go over here, they can inspect it. Hit G. The gate is sealed, and they need 2 parts to open this. So we know we need to find 5 parts total. We'll go this way. And if we get close enough to the parts, you'll see they'll start to shine. I wanted to make the trigger fairly close. I felt like if it was too far away, it wouldn't be really much of a challenge. I wanted players to actually kind of look through the level and see if they can pick these out. And if they were paying attention to the intro video, like I said, it does show where every single one of them is at. So we'll go ahead and pick this one up here. It tells you to collect a hang glider part, and then it has a line of dialogue from the player asking if he crashed here. Because I mean, we don't know why the player's here, and I wanted to give that sense of being lost and unknown, of not knowing where you're at and why you're here. Grab this second item over here. This is for the door, so it tells you collected a part to blow up the gate, and it makes a comment about these barrels being over by this gate, which is closed shut. So obviously this is another entrance into the shanty town that leads back there, but obviously the player cannot get there. We'll go up this way. I decided to make the shanty town kind of on a 2-level, and I decided to make the stairs out of the terrain itself. Again, with not having a whole lot of materials, I wanted it to feel like it was really built into the mountain. They didn't have a whole lot of tools and materials to make great stairs or buildings and things like that. We'll jump up these stairs to move a little faster. And again, we got some more buildings up here. Some fabric. Fabric was tough to do. I played around with this a lot with the shadows. I ended up having to use 2 pieces of fabric just back to back to make sure that both sides had a texture. And then I made this one stand out. So this is the other piece you'd collect for the hang glider. And again, as you get close, it starts to light up. Go around here this way. I'll collect a box of matches. That's for the gate. Again, some more dialogue. Another thing I wanted to do was add more story elements to this. I couldn't find a good way to really tell a story with the items that made sense unless I had the player pick up the items in a certain order every time to make story make sense. I had to make it where they can pick up any item, they get a piece of dialogue, and it doesn't matter what order they get it in. It still kind of gives an overall plot to what's going on. It might not be the deepest, and that's something I wish I could have done differently. And in the future, I hope to expand on with new levels and stuff. But for this, it worked for this level. All right, we'll grab the last part of my hang glider, which I tucked away in here. It is kind of dark in here, which is why the sparkles helped out a lot. Again, with no electricity and stuff, I mean, I probably could have put like a barrel fire in there, but there's no light. There's no light from the sun or anything that can get in here. I wanted to, like I said, make the items somewhat difficult to find, but not necessarily impossible. All right, at this point, we are now ready to inspect the hang glider again, and if you look at the text prompt, it'll actually say repair hang glider because we've gotten all 3 items. So we'll go up here, repair this. A little animation to repair it. I couldn't actually show the player repairing it because you don't see the player at all. We just picked up the hang glider. Now it tells us we can use it to escape. Couldn't have the player fix it because I can't actually show the player since this is first person, and that's something that's still a little more advanced for me. So I just showed the hang glider that was broken, and you kind of see it kind of transform and form into a fixed hang glider again. And of course, the barrel of fire and the smoke and everything else is gone. And then we just picked up the hang glider. Again, some of the feedback I got was how do we actually pick up the hang glider? Again, I couldn't really show that, but I really wanted the hang glider crash here as part of the plot. I thought would be cool and to kind of use it as part of the environment. So I chose to do it that way. We'll go over here to our gate since we got our other 2 items, and this is how we'll open this. We'll set the explosives. Get a nice animation here. Again, I think the animation turned out really well. Something I want to work on is my camera technique. Make it a little more stable and not as fast going around. But for my first time, I'm quite happy with it. We walk around this. We can see the valley down below. There is a barrier here, so you can't walk off the edge, but you do get a good look of the river and the broken bridge down here. Continue on. We got our waterfall and this bridge that this connects. Really, the entrance of the shanty town to this forest area over here. We walk through here. Pretty basic forest, grass, trees. The shadows and the lighting, I think, turned out great. The one thing I wish I could have done differently about this, though, is I did make it kind of a long walk from the shanty town to the end where you fly the hang glider. Unfortunately, when I laid out the terrain for this level in the beginning, I didn't realize how long of a walk it was, and as I started building my shanty town, I really couldn't go back and change it at that point. I kind of just have gone too far, so I had to stick to my guns and just work with it. All right, so now we get to the end here, and we go up, and it'll ask us to fly our hang glider. We'll get our final cinematic. This was tough to do. I wanted to get another shot of the shanty town as you're flying by. I wanted to get a smooth animation. It does feel like you're in a roller coaster. It goes pretty quickly, but all in all, I think it worked pretty well, avoiding trees over here. And finally, you get a message saying that you've escaped the shanty town, and we see it explode. No fade out. Couldn't figure out how to do that, but I made sure that you did get the message to let you know that you have beaten the level that you have escaped. Again, I wish I could have added more story elements to it. but for my first time under the time limit, I think it turned out great. Well, everyone, thank you for watching my broadcast and this video walkthrough of my level Shantytown. Thanks.